Hi everyone, my name's Tom Griffiths. I work for DoNotAgeorgs, and I'm here with Kristian Morgan on a little interview about taking supplements for his world record attempts. And nice to meet you, Kristian. If you could just give us a little introduction about yourself.
My name's Kristian. Started off as a marathon runner 25 years ago, and as the years went by, or the decades, I finally got into my mid to late 40s and eventually became a two-time world champion mountain ultra trail runner. So it's been a long journey, and it's been a fun and interesting one as well.
Amazing. Well, congratulations on your world records. That's incredible. So just around that, what sort of inspired you to attempt these world records, and especially for the Appalachian Trail? How does it compare to your previous experiences?
So I started off running marathons, mostly road marathons, and then eventually did a few trail marathons, which I really enjoyed. And then I read this book called Ultra Marathon Man back in 2009. It was recommended to me by a tutor when I was studying the course at college. And I heard about ultramarathon, so I tried it, ran my first ultramarathon. Then it was a journey since 2009, like how far can I run? And like in 2015, ran my first 100-mile ultramarathon. And then I met this guy in the desert running this crazy race called Marathon des Sables, a guy called Karel Sabé from Belgium, who set a world record on the Pacific Crest Trail the following year, and then invited me to come and join him on the Appalachian Trail in 2018. So actually my journey with the Appalachian Trail started 6 years ago, helping set the record back in 2018 as a pacer for Karel on his record attempt.
Insane. Such a long way. So speaking about that one, can you share some insights into specific challenges and obstacles you anticipate facing the next the Appalachian Trail?
Yeah, so I had a failed attempt on the Appalachian Trail in 2019. In 2020, I couldn't get there because of the pandemic that we experienced, and stayed in the UK, but looked to another challenge. I set the world record on Britain's longest national trail, the Southwest Coast Path. It's beautiful down there, Tom, down Devon and Cornwall. Have you been down there at all? Or?
Yeah, it's beautiful.
It's stunning, coast all the way. So 630 miles in 10 days. Then in 21, I had my second failed attempt on the Appalachian Trail. By the way, I like to call failure stepping stone towards success. So, and then in 2022, I became the second fastest in the world to run the Appalachian Trail going north. And then last year, I set the world record for running the Appalachian Trail in the fastest time going south. So this year, I'm going to return to go for a northbound record attempt, and quite a loud motorbike coming over.
You can't hear it on the interview.
Oh, right, that's fine. So this year I'm going to be going for a northbound record attempt with the same crew who was with me from 2022, a supported attempt. And did you ask what kind of challenges I'm looking forward to face?
Yeah, exactly. So what kind of, shedding some insights into the challenges and obstacles you're anticipating for this time?
Yeah, so the challenge of this nature involves covering 2,198 miles in a time span of 41 days, 7 hours and 39 minutes or less. So to set the world record, that's the current world record. And to break that down, that's kind of about 2 marathons a day, you could say. But it's not on a road, it's through the Appalachian Mountains in America, which span 14 states on the eastern side of America. There's river crossings, there's mountains to climb, as I said. There's wildlife, you've got brown bears, black bears, snakes, extreme weather, you're above tree line, thunderstorms, it's quite the task. So
Definitely.
my job and my crew's job will be to maintain, the average mileage each day in order to break that record.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's a huge challenge, but incredible to take on. So how do you adapt your training regime to prepare for such an endurance like feat? Do you have any recovery strategies or anything in your routine?
Yeah, so I really think 24 years of endurance running has prepared me for this. I don't think you could just train for it in, say, the early stages of the year and then go and set a world record in summer.
Or try and smash it. No.
Yeah. So 2 decades of marathon and ultra marathon running, but more specifically, I'm actually based in Thailand right now. Currently on an island, and I do a lot of elevation in my training. So last week I gained 26,000 feet. So that's the height. I think Everest is about 28,000 feet or 29,000 feet. So just during my runs last week, I gained like the elevation from summit of Everest in a week.
Good God.
And then my recovery, straight after my long runs, I go and jump in an ice bath, and I do strength training. Just came out of the gym a couple of hours ago, did a 2-hour strength training session, and I try and eat as clean as I can. Meat, rice, fruit, and these kind of things. Yeah.
Amen. Nice. Okay, so obviously last year DoNotAgeorgs provides you with some supplements to take for your regime. So I think you had creatine, pure TMG, and CA-AKG. So I was just wondering if you could elaborate on some of how taking those sort of increased your performance or in any way, or helped you recover, things like that. So for obviously creatine, it's known to improve your muscular performance, your recovery, and sort of your memory performance as well. So I wondered if any of that sort of helped you in your training or performance.
Yeah, well, I gotta say, I just felt awesome, and I guess having DoNotAge, believe in me and share their products with me as well, is a huge confidence boost. It's when someone believes in you, you have to believe in yourself, but when someone believes in you, and then so, I used the products, and I'd heard of creatine over the years and always thought of it as this kind of bodybuilding supplement, that bodybuilders take. And I'm a skinny guy, I'm a trail endurance runner, so I don't have loads of muscles, but I'm pretty lean and that, I guess. Yeah. So anyway, I remember taking the creatine and thinking, I feel pretty strong, I'm feeling pretty, I don't know if I didn't measure my muscles or anything or pack it on, but anyway, my point is that creatine's not just for bodybuilders. So I took confidence that, you can take it as an endurance runner. And I heard someone else say that as well. They're like, who was it? I'm trying to think. It's quite a famous athlete. Forget their name now, but they're saying, creatine, they didn't know, it helps with the recovery, it helps with performance and stuff, with obviously the building blocks for your muscles, I believe. So I felt pretty strong in terms of jumping on board with the supplements.
Incredible. Well, that's good. That's great to know. So yeah, the other stuff you were taking, so CA-AKG, so that supports your bone strength. Did you notice any particular advancements in sort of your recovery or performance in your bone? I know it's quite a difficult one to say if you felt your bone structure was more strong, but if there's any insight you could give on that, that would be amazing.
No, I mean, I really did feel solid. You know, I mean, I was 46 last year. And, you know, if you look at most like guys in their mid 40s, it's probably a sorry sight, you know, they're not going to look that great. You know, they start making these excuses about, you know, I'm too old. And, you know, in fact, I met this guy the other day. He said, yeah, it's my dream one day to hike the Appalachian Trail. Yeah, but I think I'm getting too old. And I said, how old are you? Like, we were in the sauna, in fact. I said, yeah, don't worry. Like, even guys in their mid 50s can do it. And he said, actually, I'm 42, you know? And I said, what? Dude, I set a world record. I'm 46 last year. You know, you can hike the AT. So I think it's a mindset thing. I definitely felt like super strong from all the strength training I was doing. And then whether it's placebo or not, you know, you do what you can as an athlete to kind of give you the edge, especially when I'm aging, I'm 46. So, you know, whether my bones were stronger or not, it's hard to say, but I just had this feeling of confidence.
That's great.
Know, a feeling of confidence.
Absolutely. Well, it seemed to have done the trick, because world record holder now. So, well, again. So so speaking about, like, obviously the upcoming challenge, how do you manage sort of your mental fatigue and maintain focus during like the long stretches of the trail? Do you find any support from any of like the supplements that you could be taking, or the food? Is there anything you could tell us about that? So like the mental fatigue of just running up and down for so long. To just to have some clarity, I mean, there's a lot of mountains, and sometimes you have to hike the mountain. So it's like a combination of, I mean, sometimes climbing, sometimes hiking, sometimes running. So it's not like, for anyone listening out there, it's not just like running all the time, because sometimes you have to up Everest,
vertical, you know. I actually came out with this saying, break down, break through. So I found there's no avoiding breaking down mentally when you're out there on a trail, but it's only when you break down mentally, then you have a breakthrough. And I discovered this, and it was a cycle. I guess there's lots of things, you know, you have to maintain your calories. Like you asked about any food, like every 30 minutes, my alarm went off on my watch, and I ate 150 calories from morning, which was 4:30 a.m. Until evening. I mean, that changed each day. Some days I finished, it was all right, I don't know, 15, 16 hours a day. So into the evening, you know, and I'm eating every 30 minutes, 150 calories. I'm making sure I'm staying hydrated. Sometimes the riverbeds were dried out. I was collecting natural water from the rivers with a filter, and a lot, like, I had crazy weather up north, but down south I had droughts. So, you know, you can feel yourself getting thirsty, and then, you know, you come in, and the first thing I wanted to do was just have electrolytes. You know, I need salt. I need to get myself hydrated. So just being consistent, and also not missing your supplements as well, you know, like that's easy. Another thing, so food is one thing and supplements are another. And even though I had a crew there, that's a really tough job for someone to do. I had two people, we go by nicknames on the Appalachian Trail: Iceman, who's a 72-year-old dude from Pennsylvania, and Gun Section, who's actually my mother, who's 60, what is she, like 69? Hailing from, or living in London right now. So sometimes I had to make sure my mother was in control of the supplements and the food, and you know, I had to make sure, you know, I was splitting my supplements into 3 amounts throughout the day. So just making sure that the guys remember that, because sometimes they didn't. So, or my mom didn't. Yeah.
Your mum took care of you.
Yeah, she did. Yeah.
Incredible. So, like, obviously, given like the unpredictability of like the nature and weather that you're going to find on the terrain again, how do you like adapt any strategy you have during the race? Are there any supplements that you think will aid you in your like adaptability whilst on the run, the race?
Yeah, you can't lose it mentally on trail, or otherwise it's game over.
Yeah.
Like I said, I had 2 failed attempts, which I like to call stepping stones towards success. Michael Jordan said the only reason he was successful because he allowed himself to fail so much. It's the people who are too scared to try, who don't succeed, and they don't fail. They stay safe. So yeah, I learned a lot during my failed attempts, and again, obviously staying on top of nutrition, hydration. You know, if you're going to take supplements, be regular with them. You know, don't miss them, because otherwise they're not going to be as effective. But then you spoke about weather. Like in 2022, I had a perfect year. I mean, yes, it was hot and humid, but there was no crazy rain or anything like that, or floods. Last year, there was record-breaking rainfall, and actually it delayed our start by 6 weeks altogether. So right. Imagine as an athlete, you peak for a start date and then you're delayed by a month and a half. So that was tough, but you know, we started eventually and just got on with it. But I think this year the difference between what I've learned from 22 and 23 is, if we get bad weather, it's less likely to flood down south than it is up north, because there's a lot more rainfall up, and because we're starting in the south, I don't think there's no risk of starting off with flooding and stuff. But if we get up north, there's flooding and stuff, I guess it's almost like an act of God or something. There's nothing really you can do. I mean, a hiker did die last year on trail.
Right.
And that was trying to cross a river on the Appalachian Trail. So thoughts definitely go out to his family. And you know, if a river's raging and there's a you know, hikers are being diverted off the trail and it's closed, there's really nothing he can do. Yeah. So but as for like just running through mud and rain, you know, you just got to suck it up. But yeah, if there's like crazy rivers and you can't cross it, it's almost like game over.
That pretty much, yeah. So I suppose the gear that you're wearing, I can't really imagine what you would be wearing, but during like really heavy rain, if it is raining up north, is there any particular like gear that you wear when that's happening? Stuff to keep you safe?
Yeah, I mean, so like you can get hypothermic even though it is hot and it is America. So last year I crossed over Mount Washington, probably has the most fatalities, and in fact it's called an obituary list of all the dead people like who have died on Mount Washington. So anyway, when I went up and over Mount Washington, there was 100-mile-an-hour gusts of wind, and I was pretty scared. You know, I thought the attempt actually made to be put on hold there or stop, but luckily, or not even luckily, but I did carry extra clothing, and I ended up wearing several layers of clothing, 2 hats, 2 pairs of gloves, and I made the summit and I made the descent, and I didn't you know, like come into any harm.
Well, that's good. Yes, you've got safety is probably the paramount importance, isn't it? But incredible feat of endurance. So basically, Kristian, finally, what advice would you give to any aspiring ultra runners who are considering similar challenges, both in terms of like training and their nutritional support with supplements of any kind?
Yeah, do your research. You know, I guess different ages require different foods and supplements and approaches to exercise and stuff. So do your research. Have your races or your goals defined of what you want to achieve. I'd probably even say, it might seem quite a lot, but have a 5 to 10 year plan. You know, where do you want this to take you? What do you want to do with this? And then kind of execute it. Go out there, you know, like train hard, you know, fuel right, and use the right supplements. They do give you that little bit of edge, and you know, go after your goals and be prepared to fail. Sometimes it's you know, it's not always that you succeed in what you want to do. But try, as they say, and try again, and keep on going, and maybe you can achieve that goal. So I just say get up and go and do it. Nike have a good saying, do it.
Yeah, incredible. Yeah, so it's honestly very inspiring to have met you, and I just wish you all the best for the upcoming challenge. When do you begin? When is the Appalachian Challenge, Appalachian Trail?
Yeah, so May 25th at Springer Mountain, which is the southern terminus. I'll have a live tracker with me. We follow all the rules. This is publicly, transparent, so everyone can see where I am at any point on the public tracking page. And May 25th, it's a 41-day, 7-hour and 39-minute record. So I think I need to be finished something like July 5th. And yeah, please follow along on the Instagram. It's Kristian Ultra, Kristian spelled with a K. And there'll be like daily updates from Gun Section. Will probably be taking care of the social media. Follow along the journey. It's a long journey. 50. I gotta do like 50 to get that record. Now it's like, because the trail's increased in length a little bit, it changes each year. 54 miles a day to set that record.
I'll certainly be following along. I can't wait to see your progress. It's going to be amazing. Are you looking forward to it? Are you daunted, or just ready to get started now?
Yeah, it's a tough one. I mean, I'm excited, but I just know that it's facing, like, this will be the hardest thing I ever do in my life. And, to succeed at something where you've raised the bar so high, there's definitely questions. And, you don't go into something which is profound knowing like you're going to succeed. So I'm excited. I'm apprehensive, I'm nervous, but I listened to a podcast the other day with Mike Tyson, and he said you must have fear. It's fear that keeps you, it keeps you on your toes. And if you look at Mike Tyson in his heyday and how hard he knocked those people out, and he had fear on his side. So I have a healthy dose of fear, and I hope I can knock that record out like Mike Tyson knocked out his opponents.
Well, and his upcoming fight is with Jake Paul is coming. So, and he's in the looking at his training, he's in the prime. He's 58 years old, or will be when the fight happens, and he's going up against a very young, fit man. So, if he can do it, then people should be inspired to just have the fear and go after these crazy records and stuff. So, very inspiring. And just want to say thank you very much for the time. And I think obviously we'll be sending you some DoNotAgeorgs supplements, which will hopefully benefit you in your experience. So I think those would be vitamin D3, K2, and Magnesium SureSleep. So that'll help you sleep and recover. It'll be, and SIRT6 Activator. So that should keep you really energized and ready to plow through. So I'm excited to see your progress, and it's been amazing to meet you, and thank you very much from everyone at DoNotAge.org.
Yeah, well, thanks straight back at you, Tom, for personally interviewing me, and thanks to DoNotAge for believing in me. And one thing, it's nice to be supported by like a company where you've got these natural products. I was looking in the ingredients for the sleep. What was the sleep one? I think it's
SureSleep.
I think it has. Is it valerium in there? Which is like a herb, right? So
it's all natural.
Yeah, that's all good. I'm a natural athlete, so
of course.
we go well together.
Nothing but the best.
All right, thanks, Tom. Appreciate it. Thanks for your time.